things I want to do this year with this platform is I want you guys to kind of understand my brain, understand my mind, how I think, my thought process on things revolving around the NBA. So I thought it would be different this year to do a different kind of list. Now, I want you guys to know this before we go forward with this list. No matter what I say and tell y'all who I root for, I'm still unbiased when it comes to my job. When I worked at ESPN, I met some of the biggest sports fanatics you could ever find. But at the end of the day, we had a job to do. It was to be unbiased at work at night. And no matter what I tell you guys on this list, trust and believe me, when I'm doing my job night in, night out, I try my hardest to not incorporate bias. But I thought it would be interesting for you guys to kind of know what I think about the National Basketball Association. So what I decided to do was compile a list of guys that I think make sense. And these are guys that when I'm watching basketball night in, night out, which I do every night of the season, these are guys that I root for, right? And naturally, right? Just naturally. Like, it's not like I'm trying to be biased, but these are guys that I just naturally root for. I'll give you this top 10, and I'll explain to you why really briefly about each guy. At number 10, Steph Curry. To be real with you guys, Steph Curry has given me some of my worst moments as a basketball fan over the last decade because I've rooted for LeBron. I'm not a LeBron guy, but I've rooted for him in the finals against the Golden State Warriors, especially when they got KD. I didn't like that team. But I got to be real with you guys. I've started to grow and mature and grow this love for Steph Curry and appreciate his greatness, right? He's committed his body to be healthier than he was at the beginning of his career. That three-point shot is legendary. He's the greatest of all time. And second place ain't even close, respectfully to everybody involved. I like how Steph Curry is going to age. I like how he leads, too. He doesn't feel like he's got to be the center of attention like a LeBron, every headline. But he goes out and lets his play do the talking year in, year out. I'm starting to like Steph a little bit. He's starting to grow on me. Wasn't the biggest fan of him early in his career. At number 9, how about Zion Williamson? This kid has put his head down and played basketball his first couple years in New Orleans. They got to get him some help down there. Honestly, I feel like I should root for Zion just because I feel like that New Orleans Pelicans organization is abysmal, one of the worst in the NBA. This dude, Zion, I'm sure he's probably not happy there. I know he doesn't really care for David Griffin like that. We shall see how long he stays there in New Orleans without demanding a trade of some sorts, even though he's on his rookie deal. I got to respect Zion just because the kid is in love with the game of basketball in this world where so many people seem to not be in love with basketball, which is weird, by the way. At number 8, Zion's classmate, I'm going to go Ja Morant. I'm from Memphis. You know, I'm a Los Angeles Lakers diehard, but when my Lakers are not playing, I'm a root for the hometown team. I love everything about Ja Morant. Again, being from Memphis, he fits the culture of the city to a T. Slept on, grinder, had to work for everything he's ever got. Memphis is a warehouse city. Ja Morant, Murray State, slept on kid, has did nothing but excel. And in a lot of ways has had more success early in his career with Memphis than Zion has had with New Orleans. I respect that about Ja. He thinks he's one of the 5 best point guards in the league. I don't know if he's there yet, but I love where his mind is already at. He'll be there one day if he ain't already there. At number 7, Luka Doncic, man. I love Luka for this simple fact. I don't have to go long with Luka. I just know Luka feels like he's the best in the world. He doesn't care about being friends with all these other athletes. Like, he's got that toughness in him, and that's that Slovenian in him. And I like that. I feel like the NBA is missing that. Obviously, I was too young to ever watch Larry Bird play basketball, but Luka gives me just that. This white boy that be out there killing these dudes on the court. I like watching Luka play basketball, man. And he's just tough. He's grown. He's mature. Though he's young from a year standpoint, he's been playing professional basketball for so long. You feel that maturity on him, and I love it about Luka, man. He doesn't take a dribble for granted. At number 6, Joel Embiid. Embiid used to piss me off a little bit early in his career because you could tell he wasn't doing the right things with his body. You could tell, as great a talent as he was, you know, he just wasn't taking the game seriously as he could. But that's been changing. You know, last year, Embiid was really dedicated physically. He played on a tear in his knee, still played through it. You know, watching him cry after that loss to the Raptors a couple years ago when Kawhi hit that Game 7 game winner, that told me something about Embiid. He cares. I'm rolling with guys who care. Ironically, his teammate as of right now, Ben Simmons, seemingly doesn't care nowhere near as much as Joel Embiid does. I love the brother because he cares. And as long as you give him 4 guys, he feels like he can go out and win a basketball game. I respect that about Embiid. I've grown to like him a lot. At number 5, Damian Lillard. She's the Portland Trailblazers. Can y'all get this man some help? Y'all got an all-time level guard in his prime. He goes hard for y'all. He's the clutchest player in the NBA by a country mile. And he needs a perimeter guy that can defend and slash and get him a bucket. He doesn't have that. He continues to be great. A lot of times I'm watching Damian Lillard go out, drop 40, 50, 60, and I'm like, damn, can he just get some help? I know CJ McCollum's a good basketball player. I don't think he's the right piece next to Dame. So as I watch Dame night in, night out be great, it's tough to not root for the brother because it's like, yo, get this man some help. And the fact that he ain't even demanded a trade when most guys would have said, I'm done with Portland a long time ago. He said, nah, I'm going to rock with him. He's a loyal guy. It's tough to root against the guys who are beyond loyal than what they should be for a team. So that's why I root for Dame. At number 4, Anthony Davis. AD was about to become my favorite player in the league. I actually thought he was the Lakers' best player 2019-2020 season, but he regressed last year. I did not like what I saw from AD. Apparently, they tell me that Anthony Davis is a big gamer, and I looked at his body last year, and I thought to myself, man, he played like a gamer. He played like a guy that didn't take this game seriously. You know, he played like a guy that didn't think he was going to be the best player in the world. I thought LeBron was about to hand AD the torch. But obviously AD wasn't ready to pick up the torch. I'm just going to hope and pray that last year was an anomaly and it's not a trend of AD in his career. I really like AD. I think he's a solid dude. I think he's built to the right stuff. I'm about to get married in a few months. Anthony Davis just got married. I'm always for that, seeing my black brothers out there find their queens. I root for Anthony Davis. He's my favorite Laker. You know, he's my favorite Laker, and I root for him. Hopefully he can get the ship back on the right sail next season. We are watching. At number 3, Chris Paul. You know, CP3 is probably one of the 5 best point guards to ever do it. You know, Chris Paul is seen to be someone that's always level-headed. When I listen to Chris Paul talk, he makes sense to me. And I can't say that about most NBA superstars, if you want me to be real with you. But Chris Paul is a guy that makes sense to me when he talks. He's been the head of that Players Association for a while, holding it down. I think he made logical decisions while he was there. You know, CP3 is a guy that I just respect as a man. I think he's a hard-working guy that respected his position every day of it, put the time and the effort into his craft. I can always respect that about a person, no matter what they do, if it's sports, whatever. I just respect people that don't take their position for granted. And number 2, the guy that CP3 lost to in the NBA Finals, how about Giannis Antetokounmpo? I love Giannis' story. I come from nothing. I represent humble beginnings, and Giannis being one of those stories that I attach myself to, being from nothing, him and his brothers coming to America, and he was obviously not highly talented, not as much was expected of him, and now people look at him as the best player in the world. At least I do. This man has overcome every obstacle that life has thrown at him and went through it easily. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a great American story. I know he's not from here, but he is incredible. He is what it means to be in this country. This is what the covenant that they promised to people. Giannis Antetokounmpo is incredible. I'm always going to root for stories like that. Them from nothing to something. I'm talking about not just from middle class to something. I'm talking from nothing to something for real. That's his story. You got to support it. And at number 1, I am a Los Angeles Lakers diehard. I am not a LeBron James guy. I'm a Kobe guy. So everybody asking out there. But I root for LeBron. I'll call a spade a spade. I don't like how the media has portrayed LeBron throughout his career. I felt like a lot of times he's been unfairly criticized. Even seeing LeBron as a Laker is weird with him, right? Because part of me is like, yo, I feel like he's unfairly criticized a lot of the time. Then I sometimes get the criticism. It's frustrating when the best player on the court doesn't take the last minute shot all the time. It's frustrating when LeBron goes cryptic on social media. Some of that stuff gets frustrating. Now I see it because he plays for my favorite team. But all that being said, I mean, the brother has done nothing but good with his voice. I mean, the man has built a school. It's tough to root against a guy that has used his money to build a school. I love this about LeBron. He's empowered the people around him. He's took people from, that he's known from high school and put them in positions of power, put them in positions to be owners. What he's done with Maverick Carter is incredible. Look at Rich Paul. He's one of the NBA's most powerful agents. You think that happens without having LeBron James as his biggest client? Obviously, no. Like, you gotta respect what LeBron James has done as a player and as a businessman. It's tough to root against that. Now, if God rested dead, my guy Kobe was still around and playing, we have some different conversations. But LeBron is obviously the most valuable player in the league over the last 15 years. It's not even close. I work with the NBA, so it's in my best interest to see this guy who has clearly held the league down and promoted this bad boy with the utmost. It's great to see him hold it down for so long, so you got to root for him in that regard. He's taking the greatest care of his body. He's paid the ultimate commitment, and he plays for my Lakers. Those are 10 guys that I root for going into this season. Y'all let me know some of the guys that y'all just naturally root for. It doesn't mean you're biased. Just people that when they're on your TV screen, you say, oh, I want to see that guy win.